harvest starts next week, so all the guys that have beets won't be doing beans. So we'll see how it goes. Hopefully it's a very good crop, and hopefully the price keeps going up. There he goes. Can't hardly see him. I thought he wanted a rag so I could wipe the windows off, but I guess not. Oop, that for Dusty. Wow. I think 4 beans a square foot is a bushel. So I mean, if I'm looking at this, you know, there's a bean, 2, 3, 4. You know, we're probably doing, maybe losing a bushel. But he didn't think it was yielding all that great. But I guess we'll find out. He's almost done. I mean, he probably has 25-ish acres left. I mean, here on the headline it looks like he's got a little more, but shut off. I don't know. Could we do some finer tuning? Yeah, probably. Yeah, there's quite a few more. That's probably 2 bushel an acre losing. Let me get this open up. Oh, it's coming out. Hello? There's a spot where it gets longer, that's about 10 acres, so there's probably about 20 left. I don't know that these beans are doing as good as I hoped they would, but it was kind of an off year too. I think if we end up with a farm average of 45, I'll be pretty happy. Ah, sunset. Sunset over the combine. Dusty, holy crap. Makes me wonder if it isn't on fire. Wow. No wind. As soon as that sun goes down, it's like flipping a switch. So you can kind of combine with soybeans and wheat. You can kind of combine with the weather, or you have to combine with the weather. Where corn, not so much. You can usually go a lot later, start a lot earlier. With soybeans and wheat, you usually have to wait till the dew burns off because there's a lot of matter going in through the combine. Where corn, it's just the headers ripping the stalk down and peeling the cob off the stalk. With beans and wheat, are a little different. He is clipping right along. Wow. Had him slow down. I'm sure you heard. Had him slow down the cylinder a little bit. Open the concave a touch. But we're gonna knock this puppy out, no problem. Not tonight, but finish tomorrow and probably start on the 30 acres across the road. So, prime example of what I was just talking about. He called me to say that he got about halfway back and it got really tough. And basically what happens is the sun goes down and the air just kind of changes. Things get tough. And you can feel it in the stubble. It's cold, wet. So he said, I don't think something has been spilled in my cab, and I have a good idea of what that something was. So he's going home. This thing is full. I didn't think it was so full, and then I took off from a dead start and I was like, oh, this thing is full. So there's probably about 900 bushel on this thing. I'll get it hauled in the morning. That puts me about halfway to what I want on this field. And we have about 20 acres left. So we're not quite gonna make the yield that I was hoping for, but we're definitely gonna make the yield that I planned for. Here's what it is, it's farming. I was hoping for 60. I think I hoped for 60. I planned for 45. Realistically, we get between 50 and 55 usually, which is good here. It's good for a bean. Oh, what a nice sunset. Anyway, I'm gonna go home and do some paperwork, and I'll see you in the morning. Good morning. Day 2, I suppose. I hauled a load of grain in. We brought the truck down to the field. I'm working on getting the combine ready. Grandpa just kind of hopped in and started combining yesterday. So it wasn't completely ready. He was combining out there with no shields, and half the chains hadn't been oiled yet. It's like, what are you doing? Oh, oopsies. So we're working on doing that. I got someone is coming out to talk to me about selling seed or being an independent seed dealer. So we'll see what he has to say there. Trying to find ways to kind of diversify farming or be on the farm more than I am, since we kind of our living situation is a little goofy. So trying to find ways to work around that. So yeah, the beans are yielding really good. Grandpa thinks we've gotten through the worst beans, if you will, and even for bad, they're really good. We've got about 30 acres done, which isn't bad. I think he only ran for a couple hours last night. I took one truckload in, took another truckload in this morning, and the yield is coming out pretty decent. So that's nice. Hopefully it keeps up, and they yield really well across the farm as an average. But it's hard to get a high farm average. We have the for sale field left to combine yet, and that one's the biggest if, because if it gets dry up in the last third of the field, and if the pods didn't fully fill, then the yield won't be there, and it'll drag the whole average down a lot. Like last year, that field was running 110 bushel wheat, and Chad got up to the hill there and said it went from 100 bushel down to 5. So that was fun. So we'll see how it goes. 83 is hooked up to the cart. I did that last night after I told you I was gonna go home and go to bed. But I put the 83 on the cart this time because it doesn't have a job right now. The only reason I put the 6155 on the cart was because it didn't have a job and this was still tied onto the sprayer. But now the roles are reversed. So the 83 is going on the cart for the beans, even though we're probably not going to use it. It's just, oh yeah, there's Tate's. Damn dog. Popped a tire on my mower. Thank God it was the mower, not a tractor. So now when we move equipment around, he has to be locked up. Well, anyway, I'll talk to you in a jiffy. Look, Mom! No hands! Nice beans. Nice combine. combine and auto steer's working. We're moving. It's about noon, maybe a little afternoon actually. Yeah, 12:08. So we're finally combining. I had a meeting to talk about meeting with someone to talk about being a seed dealer. Went really good. So I got to talk to Kayla about it, and we're gonna go from there. But it sounds promising. So it sounds like I can do it along with farming and my job, and it's not going to be overbearing or even all that busy for that matter. But the beans are combining pretty nice. Check out our cylinder. Two almost 3 mile an hour. The auto steer says 3.1. The combine says 2.8. I think I believe the combine before I believe the auto steer. But we are clipping right along. We're going straight. This is lovely. It's wrapping a little bit on the reel, so that just tells me that the stems are a little tough yet, but that'll change in the next hour. If you can see, I'm not taking a full swath. We're taking a partial swath because Grandpa was just steering it last night, which he drove pretty straight. Usually freehanding, it's hard to drive, you know, that straight, but he's pretty good at driving straight. I mean, I don't think he only ever had one piece of equipment with auto steer in it, and that was his 4-wheel drive tractor. So now this has auto steer in it. Everything has auto steer in it now. The only thing that doesn't is his new little loader tractor. Oh yeah, run into that big wad. Slow the combine down. We're seeing a lot of head chatter. Really, I can see him bouncing off the cylinder or the auger. Really wish I had a air reel right about now. But we can't have everything we want, right? So we're just about done with this field. We're doing the short rounds. He finished all of this. So we're about 30 acres done. I think I told you that probably. Got little spots of white mold throughout the field. Very interesting. A little bit of phytophthora, root rot. Wish I had a yield monitor though. Oh, those are nice beans, man. Dive in. And we're off to the races again. He's gonna have something to eat and he's gonna come take over the combine, so I better take advantage of that. A little tough yet. Wind's blowing the right way though. Keeping it out of the radiator, I hope. Nothing's wrong. It just seems like the amount that should be going in the hopper is not. So yeah, here's a big part of our loss right there. That's probably 2 bushel an acre on the ground, at least. There's no large amount, I guess, coming out of the combine. I think it's just bad luck. They're pretty short. Some of these pods didn't get filled out. I am seeing some white mold back there. There's a vein in here of white mold I can see. All right. Otherwise, the combine seems to be working great. All right, let's get back to work, I suppose. Okie dokie. get a good enough ground speed that you're not, I mean, 2 bushel an acre across 160 acres. That's 320 bushel at $10 a bushel. That's $3,200. You know, at that rate, does an aerial pay for itself? Probably. I just don't want to go spend $11,000 on an aerial and hope that it's going to pay for itself. A little bit of pod, a little bit of green. Giant beans though, holy crap. Those things are huge. Those are marbles. Absolute marbles. I like it. I like combining marbles. Yeah, there's white mold in spots, a little bit of Phytophthora ret rot. We just overall had kind of an off-growing season, I think. Nothing you can do about it. It is what it is. It just seems like when I started, they were flowing in a lot better than that. Let's turn the fan up a hair. Try and get rid of that chaff. I'm still seeing some splits, but the beans are so dry right now. I can turn the cylinder down a little bit, but I don't want to. Otherwise it really growls and groans. This is where a bullet rotor or rotary in general would be nice. Probably work a lot better in beans. But I don't know, it is what it is. And another problem is we just got too dry right at the tail end of the growing season. We had good moisture for pod fill, but then it, like, there's cracks this wide in the ground now. Just a little dry. Grandpa took over the combine, so I'm going to go get the 8300 in the cart. Oh, that approach should have been packed down better. New approach. And probably park it across the road here so he has something to dump into, because he's going to finish that field before I get back with the truck, I'm sure. Oh, the neighbors are hauling manure. Dairy cow crap. So it's 1 o'clock. It's 1 o'clock right now. Should have the 83 warmed up. I'm gonna grab something to eat quick, so I don't have a repeat of yesterday where I just don't eat anything all day. But he's gonna keep combining. The next dump should fill that truck. He might even be down at that field before I get there. We'll see. Hopefully. And then that 30-acre field shouldn't take long. If it makes 60 bushel an acre, that's 1,800 bushel. That's both trucks full, combine full, and the grain cart full, I should say. So we should be able to knock that one out easy, and then we attack that one. And that one I hope goes really good. I hope those beans are a little wetter, because now we're starting to get, beans are weird. They'll go from 13% to 9% throughout the day, and we're already down at probably 11%. And by the time we get done with that field, we'll probably be down pushing that 9% mark. Beans just dry out ridiculously fast when they're hanging there. So we'll see what the day brings, but I'm gonna start hauling to town. He's gonna keep combining, and we're gonna get these poverty peas knocked out, and we're all gonna be happy, happy, happy. And then we'll be done with harvest, sadly. I wish we had some more beans to combine, but we don't, so it'll be what it'll be.